a World Cup, a European Championship, 3 Champions Leagues, a Europa League, 5 La Ligas, 1 Premier League, 3 Spanish Cups, 1 FA Cup, and even more than this. Pedro Ledesma completed football. The man won it all. Why then don't more people speak about this player and his achievements when they talk about the all-time greats of the past 10-15 years? Well, the main reason for this is obvious. After coming through the youth ranks at Barcelona, Pedro was overshadowed by the colossal amount of superstars he was linking up with in the first team. Ibrahimovic, Xavi, Iniesta, David Villa, Neymar, Suarez, and of course Lionel Messi. The diminutive and unassuming Pedro was never going to be the one to steal all the limelight and praise away from that lot, nor did he try. He played the role of Messi's support act very well, with more than half of his 46 assists for Barca being for the otherworldly Argentinian. At Chelsea, the sensational skills of Eden Hazard and larger-than-life personality of Diego Costa again kept him in the shadows somewhat. Although the fans at both of those clubs eternally appreciate Pedro's contribution, I don't think the wider footballing world give him the regard that he deserves. You may wonder whether that's because he didn't actually contribute that much towards all his achievements. Well, to that I would like to say wonder no more, because it's extremely untrue. The 09-10 season was his first full campaign for Barcelona's first team, and he had a big hand in their many triumphs. He scored the only goal against Shakhtar Donetsk to win the UEFA Super Cup. He scored a late equaliser against Estudiantes to take the club World Cup final to extra time, in which Messi would score the winner. He scored and assisted in the first leg of the Spanish Super Cup final against Bilbao. He also bagged some big ones in La Liga to help Barca retain their title. The only goal in a 1-0 win over Almeria on matchday 6 helped put some daylight between them and rivals Real, who had lost their first match of the season that weekend, giving Barca some early momentum. A goal to open the scoring in an eventual 1-1 draw with Villarreal on matchday 16 to keep Barca on top. He got the second in a key El Clasico victory which saw Barca return to the summit and Real slip to second. He chipped in with a vital third goal in a 3-2 victory over Sevilla in the penultimate fixture, and a goal and an assist on the final day, when Real would draw to finish 3 points behind Barca in what was a memorable title race that went right down to the wire. He assisted the only goal of the game in the quarterfinals of the World Cup and started and played very well in the semis and the final against Netherlands. He opened the scoring in the 2011 Champions League final, a match that Barca would go on to win 3-1. He got 2 in the 2012 Copa del Rey final win against Bilbao. He didn't feature as much in Euro 2012, not making an appearance at all in the groups, but he won a penalty for his team in the quarterfinals against France and played the last 30 minutes of their 4-0 final thumping of Italy. He got 7 goals and 10 assists in La Liga as Barca reclaimed their title in 2013. He assisted Neymar to score Barca's third to win the 2015 Champions League final against Juventus. He scored the winning goal of a thrilling 2015 5-4 Super Cup victory against Sevilla. This would be his last strike for Barca. In 2016-17 he was a key figure in Chelsea's Premier League title win with 9 goals and 10 assists. One of each in a 4-0 rout of Man United on matchday 9 to keep the Blues within a point of leader City. He got a vital equaliser right on the stroke of half-time against Spurs on matchday 13, a game that they would go on to win 2-1 and stay a point ahead of second place Liverpool. In 2018 he would head home the winner in the 105th minute of the FA Cup 6th round tie against Leicester. Chelsea would go on to win the whole thing. He scored 2 and assisted 1 in Chelsea's Europa League quarter-final second leg 4-3 victory over Slavia Prague, and he netted in another final, grabbing the second in the 4-1 rout of Arsenal to win the Europa League. I hope that all of these examples give you the idea that although Pedro is a little fella, he's a big game player, made for the big occasion, who can often be counted on to provide a big contribution at a key moment. Now you may think the reason why you never see the wonderful Pedrito on any of these top 10 greatest wingers of the previous decades list is because he simply does not stack up numbers wise to the players who frequently appear on them. Let me debunk that real quick. In his career up to now, Pedro has played for 4 clubs, making 646 appearances. He has scored 165 goals and provided 107 assists. This equates to a goal contribution every 2.375 games. Arjen Robben, someone who is often considered to be the best winger of this generation, turned out for 5 clubs, putting in 614 appearances for them combined. He scored 209 goals and made 165 assists. This means he contributed to a goal every 1.64 games. Across 7 different clubs, Frank Ribery made 631 appearances, scoring 154 times and assisting 224, a goal contribution every 1.68 games. Gareth Bale represented 4 clubs for a combined 554 appearances. In these, he scored 186 times and turned provider header on 137 occasions for an average contribution of 1 every 1.715 games. Mo Salah has played for 6 clubs, notching up 547 appearances. He has scored 257 goals and assisted 127, contributing to a goal every 1.42 games. Angel Di Maria has made 705 appearances for 6 clubs, scoring 162 and assisting 251, averaging a goal contribution every 1.7 games. Marco Reus has played for 3 clubs, making 535 appearances. He has scored 207 goals and assisted 152. This is a goal contribution every 1.48 matches. Raheem Sterling has played for 3 clubs, making 499 appearances for them. He has scored 161 goals and assisted 123. This is a goal contribution every 1.75 games. He is also the youngest of the players I've put on this list, so these numbers will change a lot by the time he's Pedro's age. So while Pedro's raw numbers don't put him amongst the absolute best of the best of his generation, he is certainly not a million miles away and can clearly hold his own in this conversation. But his game cannot be fully quantified by figures. He's an amazing winger and the type of player that you would love to have on your team. A facilitator, a lot of the brilliant work he does indirectly or directly leads to goals. Versatile and able to play in midfield, up front or on either flank, although he is perhaps at his best on the left wing, Pedro is wicked fast, although at the age of 35 now he may have lost a yard or two, and was able to nip behind defenders, latching onto through balls, providing assists or finishing himself. Skillful and silky on the ball with deft dribbling skills, he's a nightmare for defenders and uses his accurate and measured short passing ability to link up with his teammates, again creating or scoring. A cool finisher in front of goal, he can stick them away with his left or his right, inside or outside the box. He's an incredibly hard worker and always puts in a shift for the team, never shying away from the defensive side of the game, never failing to track back and help the team when needed. These are qualities which are essential in any modern winger. He also seems like a friendly, laid-back, down-to-earth guy, someone who always plays with a smile on their face and just seems to love the game. He never gets involved in any unsavoury incidents either on or off the pitch and is a committed family man. He's also still out there doing his thing, enjoying something of a renaissance in his later years in Italy, as his 4 goals and 4 assists have helped Lazio to second place in Serie A, although they are far behind runaway leaders Napoli. His form has earned him a 1-year contract extension with Lazio, so although this is something a bit different from my other videos, I made it so that the next time a conversation about the best wingers, or indeed the best players of the last couple of decades is being had, maybe you spare a thought to my man Pedrito, who has been quietly doing his thing at the highest possible level for well over 10 years, gobbling up every major trophy going and pretty much 100%ing football with little fuss and little fanfare.